May I introduce myself? I'm Philipp Magin. I'm founder at Quando. Welcome everybody. Great that you joined this presentation. Actually, this is the first time that we are presenting Quando to a public audience. We never did this before. So let's look how it turns out. In a nutshell, Quando is a commerce platform, or you can call it marketplace for local services. At the moment, primarily restaurants. We founded Quando in December 2012, and since today developed into 16 markets across 5 countries. But before I tell you more about this intense ride over the last 11 months, let's have a look at the market and the opportunity we are facing. So, can you imagine what these 100 dots could mean? This is actually the extent to which the most popular 1 million products are buyable on one of the big e-commerce stores, so like Amazon or Zalando. So there's almost no product available that you could not buy online or mobile. So let's look at the next vertical, lodging. In lodging, more than half of all hotel reservations are already made through online or mobile channels. And now I don't need to tell you what the last set of bubbles stand for. This is basically the tiny fraction of transactions for local services, so restaurants, spas, leisure activities, hairdressers, etc., that are made through online and mobile channels. And if you ask yourself why, this could have several reasons. One reason could be that local consumers are just not ready or not willing to buy local services online or mobile. But this is not the case. Let's look at the search traffic for the keyword restaurant booking as one example. The search volume on Google for this specific keyword increased by factor 4 over the last 5 years worldwide. This includes markets that no reservation platform ever touched before. So in the core markets in Europe, in America, in APAC, the growth is likely even much stronger. Now let's have a look if this upcoming market is large enough. It is, definitely. Local services, and here I only refer to restaurants, wellness bars, and fitness gyms, is so much larger than lodging and e-commerce that, in my opinion, no one should doubt that this market is not large enough. So combining these two aspects, a market, on the one hand, a market that is even bigger than e-commerce plus lodging, and more consumers who are proactively searching to buy or reserve local services online or mobile, on the other hand, make it very clear that conquering local commerce is likely one of the biggest opportunities for online and mobile companies in the next 10 years. And this is exactly why we founded Quando, because we believe in the tremendous potential for a commerce platform that connects local businesses with local consumers. So now I will tell you a bit more what our product really is, how we developed so far, how we measure our success, and what's coming next. So our core product is we help our partners grow their business. This is the overall objective. And we do this by building a commerce platform that enables them to win new and engage with existing customers. So now let's take a typical restaurant to illustrate or to demonstrate you how we do this job. A typical restaurant is 6 days open per week, and out of the 6 days, 4 are more or less empty days, and maybe Saturday and Friday are a bit better booked. So the job we need to do for this restaurant to grow its business is really delivering customers, and preferably delivering customers at the 4 more or less empty days. And here, our Quando Booking Basic product and our yield management tools come into the game. Our Quando Booking Basic product makes the restaurant available for online reservations 24/7. So it basically equips the restaurant with all necessary tools, reservation calendar, etc., to turn search traffic into real reservations and in the end into revenue. And the Quando Specials on top is a system where restaurateurs are able to promote free capacities, especially in less frequented times, with attaching generic discounted offers to them. So let's assume that we did this job and filled the restaurant, so the restaurant is quite well booked over the week. Then it's still not enough for the restaurant owner, because as a restaurant owner, when you are able to fill your seats once per evening and make money one time per evening, you start thinking of turning tables twice or 3 times per evening and doubling or tripling your revenues. And therefore you need a very proper reservation management system, which, for example, our Booking Professional is. The Booking Professional is a software tool that helps you to turn your inventory several times and maximize the utilization. So let's assume now in step 4, and in step 4 it's not the restaurateur to whom we are talking. The guy has really developed into a business owner. So the restaurant is almost booked over the week, and the restaurant is able to turn tables twice or 3 times per evening. So in this situation, every single seat is subject to a competition between several customers who are willing to get this specific seat for the specific time. So as a restaurant owner, you need to decide to which customer you give your table. And what we do here is we combine the future reservation data with data, what the specific customer spent last time, how often he was in the restaurant, etc. So, and we do this by providing a full cashier system to the restaurant's commerce platform that basically combines consumer, reservation and consumption data and provides all information necessary so that the restaurateur is able to decide to whom he gives his rare resources, his tables. And last but not least, if you are a restaurant, if you are able to fully utilize your inventory, turn your inventory multiple times, able to decide which customer you get a table in the prime time, then you likely want to make sure that your top spenders come more often to your restaurant. Therefore, you need loyalty and CRM measures. And all these software modules I described along the wheel are basically what we call our Quandoo business tools that all plug into our commerce platform that we assemble for every single restaurant. But let's go back to the wheel. To turn this wheel and to turn it faster and faster for the restaurant and deliver more and more customers, we need to do a great job on the consumer side as well. So what we did here is we opened several consumer channels, so online and mobile channels, so that we are able to market the inventory of our merchants towards local consumers. So this is basically our product. So how we developed so far. When we analyze and when we look at our business, we always think of our business as a marketplace. So we need to accelerate growth on both sides of the marketplace, on the consumer side and on the merchant side. On the consumer side, we were able to seat almost 250,000 guests that generated more than 3 million in revenue for our restaurants. But the more interesting number, in my opinion, is that we have a daily inventory of 150,000 seats that we can market towards local consumers. So comparing this number, or comparing the 150,000 seats to e-commerce, this is basically our warehouse. But with one big difference, that it is not Quandoo who needs to heat, light, clean the warehouse, because it's at the merchant side. On the merchant side, we have 3,500 bookable restaurants. Almost 1,000 of them have real-time accessible inventory, so we can market in real time. And this over 16 markets across 5 countries. We have key customers within all sub-verticals of food and beverage who choose Quandoo as their preferred partner when it comes to reservation management. This ranges from Michelin-starred restaurant to famous beer halls to hotel restaurant, and even the Europa Park, Europe's second largest leisure park after the Disneyland in Paris, choose Quandoo as their preferred technology partner for the next 3 years. So we will implement more than 1,000 point of sale there. With regard to international rollout, we started doing sales towards restaurants in April this year. We developed the blueprint, and having the blueprint ready by the summer, we roll out first into Austria and Switzerland, then Italy, and last but not least, we started doing sales in Turkey in September. And what we learned here is that Germany is by far not the easiest market. In Italy, for example, we grow 3 times faster than in Germany, because beside UK and the US, Germany is the most competitive market. The former market leaders, OpenTable and Live Bookings, are present in Germany since more than 6 years. But on the other hand, it's a very great opportunity to learn fast on the product side, because when there's pressure from the market, it's always great to learn, because otherwise you won't succeed. So how we measure our success? The most important KPI for us is how much business we are able to generate for our restaurants. This is the most important KPI, because otherwise we cannot prove our value proposition. And more precisely, this means how many guests we are able to seat per month per restaurant. And for our top quartile of restaurants across all 5 countries, and this is basically nothing else as all the restaurants that are implemented for at least 3 months, we are able to bring them 100 to 140 guests per month. The 2 strongest competitors in Europe, La Fourchette and OpenTable, they are doing 106 to 120. So we proved, when we remember back our wheel, we proved that we are able to do the first step, which means delivering customers. But we not only look at how much business we can generate for our merchants, we also look how much business we can generate overall. So how fast we can grow our marketplace. And when I say how fast we can grow, the measurement behind is, which we always ask ourselves, how long does it take to double our business? And on the merchant side, we are able to double our business within 2.5 months, while keeping merchant acquisition costs stable. So unit economics need always be stable or even improving. On the consumer side, we are faster. It took 6 weeks to double our business, while improving on customer acquisition costs. So now I think it's more than half of the acquisition costs we started in July. So you learned what is our product, how we developed, how we measure success. Now what's coming next? Today, we are a reservation and yield management platform for F&B in 5 countries. Going forward, we want to develop along 3 dimensions. Modules, which means going deeper and deeper into the value chain of our merchants. Verticals, which mean adding further verticals beside F&B within local commerce. And geographies, which is basically nothing else as expansion. With regard to the verticals, we first will move into wellness, spa, health, and then go into leisure and services. And with regard to the product, our reservation system now covers around 85% of the functionality of an OpenTable, who started developing their system in 1998. So we continuously improving our business software tools that are already existing, the booking tools and the yield management tools. And with regard to moving deeper into the value chain, we will first launch our cashier system in January, and then go for the loyalty and CRM measures end of Q1 next year. So with regard to expansion, currently, so this is our 11th month. Currently, we are in 5 countries. We aim to establish market leadership in all of the 5 countries over the next 6 months. And market leadership, I always define as being number 1 in all relevant KPIs, because you always can find a KPI where you are the leader, right? So for us, it is number of bookable restaurants, consumer reach, and of course how much business we are able to generate for our partners, so how many guests we are able to seat. We will continue on moving to other geographies in Europe to continue building a European market leadership. This will mean Spain, Poland, Netherlands, Belgium, and the UK. And we will add the first non-European markets in APAC and Latin America. So now you learned who we are, what we did so far, and what our ambition is for the future. And now may I ask you my last question. Who wants to join us in conquering the next verticals and the rest of the world? Thank you.